Hi everyone, it's Tanya from Flow Physical Therapy and Pilates again. I took last week off for Thanksgiving and family, and now I'm back this week with another Feature Area Friday. Today's topic that I'd like to talk about is hip flexors. The hip flexors are the muscles along the front of your hip. Their job is to bring your leg up, to bring your thigh towards your chest, or if your abdominal muscles or your stomach muscles are weak, they help you sit up when you're laying down. So these muscles also tend to get very tight, partly because of how much time we spend sitting. So what I'd like to do is show you how to stretch these. When these muscles are tight, they make your low back overarch or flex backwards to compensate for how far forward your body's going to tilt. And the other thing that they do is they make your hamstrings and your gluteal or your buttock muscles weaker because they can't get into the proper position to contract correctly. So those muscles don't work as well, which also can add to back problem. So these are very important muscles, and they tend to be one of the tighter muscles of the body over time. So the first stretch I want to show everyone is a chair stretch for the hip flexor muscles. And the reason I like to start with it is because you can do it sitting at your office when you're taking breaks throughout the workday. And also, it's a stretch that people don't have to be able to get on the floor to do. So if you have bad knees, or if you have a hard time getting up off the floor, the chair stretch is an easy way to do that without hurting yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So we start out, and you can use almost any chair. You can even use a couch, but you're going to sit to the edge of the chair sideways. The leg you want to stretch, you're going to put back behind you, and you're going to have the other leg to the front just to help support you. You can use an armrest if you have it, but you don't have to have one. When you do this stretch, you want your knee of the leg you're stretching to either be below you, if possible, or a little bit behind you. But that's all going to depend on how flexible your hip flexors are. So when you sit, you want your chest up. You want to feel like you have a straight torso, and you're even going to feel like you're taking your tailbone or your pelvis and you're tucking it under you. So you feel a little rotation there, and abdominal muscles tighten up. If just doing that alone stretches this area, then all you have to do is just hold that position. If that's not enough, you can move your foot back, or you can even straighten your leg at the knee to get a little deeper stretch through here. If you need to add even more, you can raise your arm over your head to feel more stretch even through your trunk. Because a lot of these muscles aren't just in the hip, they travel into the trunk, and even some of them attach in the low back. So you're going to hold this position for at least 30 to 60 seconds. And I like yoga breathing in that you feel like you're breathing in, and as you breathe in, you imagine that the area that you're stretching is expanding, and as you exhale, you imagine that area is relaxing or deflating. If you do 3 to 4 slow, long breaths that way, that tends to be around 30 seconds or more. So you get a good stretch of this area and you release it. As always, you want to make sure you're doing both sides. So the same thing would hold true, same position in this with the leg back, trunk lifted, abs tight to tuck the tailbone to stretch this spot. This stretch, when you're doing it, in any stretch, you want it to be about, like I said, 30 to 60 seconds, and you don't want the stretch to be as far as you can possibly go. Think about a minimal or a moderate stretch so that your body is able to relax into it and doesn't go onto alert thinking you're going to hurt it. So a minimal to moderate amount of stretch is actually better than pushing that muscle as far as it will flex. So the other one you can do, if you're comfortable, is on the floor, and you can see the position looks the same. It helps to put some kind of padding underneath your knees, whether it's a yoga mat or a folded up towel or a pillow, but you put them underneath your knees. It doesn't matter if your back toe is flexed under or relaxed. your front leg, you want to bring the foot forward of the front leg so that it's in front of your knee. Again, chest is lifted. We're going to tuck the tailbone under. And again, if just that alone stretches through here, that's all you do. If that's not enough, you can shift forward with your weight going towards this front leg. Again though, keeping the chest lifted, tailbone tucked, so you're not going into your low back. And again, if that's not enough, you can do the arm overhead to get a little more stretch even through here. So, those are the two stretches I wanted to show you today for your hip flexor muscles. There are other ones, including a standing one, which I will probably show us sometime down the road. But to start out with, those are the two easy ways to work on stretching out those muscles to save your back and to make yourself stronger. And in general, it just feels better so you can move. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for joining me again. Bye.